Welcome to Ranger Reviews, a web series where we look at episodes of the TV show Power Rangers and then discuss them. Today we're exploring the 25th episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers titled Life's a Masquerade. We begin this episode at the Youth Center, where the Rangers and Bulk and Skull are decorating the place for a costume party. Bulk and Skull are told that they have to do stuff, and they try to leave, before Ernie just throws things at them to string up, and they begrudgingly do it anyways. It's not volunteering if someone makes you just do it, Ernie. Oh, and Bulk ends up with paint on him, who cares? On the moon, Finster lets Rita know that he has discovered Super Putty. What's so special about this putty? I have no idea. Finster somehow doesn't have all the Super Putty yet though, so he's made a monster that's just essentially Frankenstein's monster. I think this episode's supposed to be Halloween themed, and that makes a lot of sense since it originally aired on October 30th. But like, no one is saying the word Halloween for some reason? Whatever, the Frankenstein monster gets sent down to Earth to look around. At Billy's garage, the Rangers are all decked out in costumes for the party. Jason is a musketeer, Zach is King Tut, Billy is Sherlock Holmes, Trini is a Native American, yeesh, that would not fly today, and Kimberly is a princess of some sort. I guess I should just be happy that they didn't make like Billy a nerd, and Trini a geisha, and Jason a wrestler, and Zach a rapper, and Kimberly a cheerleader at this point. But wait, where's Tommy? He's still finishing his outfit off screen. Apparently there's a costume contest involved with this event, and Tommy doesn't take second place for nothing. Meanwhile, Bulk and Skull are at Bulk's house, and in Bulk's bedroom, which is straight up set dressed with giant food items on the wall because he's fat, they attempt to figure out what they're going to wear to the costume party. They almost settle on young and old Elvis. But wait, it gets creepier. The Frankenstein monster just walks by the bedroom window. At the party, Zach has no luck trying to get Angela to give him the time of day, who is actually dressed as an Egyptian queen. I love the idea that Angela isn't shallow enough to fall all over a shirtless Zach. Then Bulk and Skull show up in regular attire, and Skull mentions how they've settled on being punks for the party. Oh, and Ernie is there dressed up as a Dracula ripoff. Then Alpha 5 just straight up waltzes in. Billy gets mad for a second, and Alpha tells him to chill out because it's a costume party, so no one's gonna know he's a real robot. I kind of love this, but then the Frankenstein monster comes in, and everyone is talking about what a great costume he has. But in reality, it's pretty terrible, especially in comparison to the Japanese footage that we're gonna see later. On a moon cave, Finster's managing a gaggle of putties as they place Super Putty on a giant ball. Yep. Anyways, at the party, the Frankenstein monster is forced to dance with some annoying girl, and he does us all a favor by just tossing her across the room into the arms of Bulk and Skull. He then proceeds to chase Bulk and Skull out of the place, and Billy is hot on the case for some reason. Then for some other weird reason, the Frankenstein monster stops following Bulk and Skull and goes off on his own to a mountainside inside of a cave, and Billy follows him. Billy sets off a sensor somehow that alerts Rita of his presence, and he morphs by saying that it's time for molecular transmutation. We get it, Billy. Billy gets his ass handed to him by the monster, and then Rita straight up rides the ball of Super Putty out of the earth, and Jesus Christ, what is happening? This creates a small earthquake which shakes the youth center and Angel Grove. Billy shows up out of suit to tell the others what happened, and then they head to the command center. There, Zordon catches the team up to speed with everything going on, and they try to contact Tommy, but surprise, Tommy's busy with putties outside the youth center. And apparently he never felt that earthquake. Rangers morph to fight the Frankenstein monster, and they get completely obliterated by him. I mean, the dude is pretty hardcore. He's straight up just ripping the bolts out of his neck and uses them as weapons. He also just kicks Kim in the face like it's nothing. Rita makes Frankenstein grow because she hates winning, so then the Rangers call on their Zords. They form the Megazord, but they can't do much better. I mean, honestly, there's a part where the Frankenstein monster just puts the Megazord above his head and spins it around. Tommy's finally done being useless, and he morphs to this scene, calling on the Dragon Zord. They quickly form the Mega Dragon Zord, which I think is just its real name at this point instead of the Dragon Zord in fighting mode, and they somehow get the opportunity to impale Frankenstein and kill him. Later, at the costume party, the Rangers walk in just straight up discussing how cool it was that they beat Rita again right next to an extra. Hopefully it was that one deaf girl from earlier in the season. Then Tommy shows up dressed as Frankenstein, but it doesn't matter because who is the winner of the costume contest? Is it the shirtless black man? Is it the nerd who really leans into literary references? The valley girl who dressed up as a princess? Nope, it's Alpha. In fact, Alpha is pretty much getting manhandled by a bunch of ladies too, and it's kind of creepy. All these girls clearly want to fuck this robot, and I've always seen Alpha as like a little boy character, so it's pretty weird. Oh yeah, that's the end of the episode, by the way. This episode was incredible. Seeing Billy fight the monster on his own was awesome, even if he got the shit beat out of him. Frankenstein straight up lifted the Megazord over his head and threw it. They even had a semi-decent reason of keeping Tommy out of the footage besides, I can't find my communicator. Plus, we got to see Rita riding a ball of clay through the city. Hot damn, I really appreciated this episode. Will this trend of awesomeness continue next time? Stay tuned and may the power protect you.